disparity as well. Like Luna can't do anything to an Ursa once he's got that BKB Abyssal up, and too much pressure on this single core to do damage inside of Empire.
What needs to happen for Empire to have a good game?
I don't know. I'm pretty shook right now just because I was very certain Empire's going to lose the game. I think they really need to be able to just roll forward off of this Axe Phoenix duo, be able to get really good Supernova team fights around it that allows the Luna to feel confident about running into these team fights. And I was sure they were going to lose, but then Kyle said, I think I might be wrong, which I feel like is kind of a paradox, because Kyle's always wrong, and then he thinks he might be wrong, so now I'm a little bit confused, but still gonna go first.
All right, well, let's find out what's going to happen here in the second game. Can Empire put up a better performance? We're gonna find out with ODP
Let's find out. Let's find out in Deep Purge. I mean, looking at these lineups compared to game one, do you consider Empire's chances a bit better here, or do you think this one's gonna be even more difficult?
I think they've got to be better than last game. The core matchups were just really solid. For Virtus Pro's advantage, they're still decent. Having Ursa against Axe-type heroes can be very good. Obviously, if you can get some early kills and effectively zone him out of lane, he's gonna have a really bad time. But with the same vein, we've seen saw Ursa's get pressured yesterday, which is pretty effective. So I have some faith. If Void Spirit has an okay laning stage, if he doesn't get ganked again successfully by like the Lion plus support duo of whatever Kingslayer's playing, then maybe he can be the guy that pressures the Ursa really heavily and buys them more time in the. So I think seeing how they react to the likely rotations from the supports is going to be one of the cool different things that we might see this. And they're actually defending their safe lane, and bounty runes is not super common here.
Might look to see if they can real poke on this, but just take the rune and try and chase down the app.
We'll turn this tide to
look
our
at some of the
advantage.
cores here. The Luna from Empire. I mean, we've seen some other teams try the Luna. It doesn't seem to really be with great success in most of the games that we've covered here in EU CIS. I mean, what are sort of your opinions on the hero right now, and why are we seeing teams go for the Luna?
Yeah, I've played her a little bit, so I feel semi-comfortable saying that she can have, like, her laning stage is a little vulnerable, but it's okay offensively. Like, you give your ally a lot of damage, but it being a clockwork kind of shows to me that she's just going to try to get as much farm as possible. I don't expect her to get kills, and in that sense, she's a little vulnerable to a hero like Lion, because between Lion and Tide, they should be able to kill her if clockwork makes big mistakes. So, I mean, she farms really fast, obviously, and she's fast in the sense that she applies a lot of magic damage with Eclipse, but it's a little hard to use it compared to some other carries, so I'm not 100% that it's going to work.
Smiling Knight is able to achieve this game. See Midge, and obviously last game GPK had an excellent start to the game.
Turn this tide to our advantage.
Early rotations. Do you think that we're going to see a similar thing here as GPK sort of got the lane start to give him that good beginning again?
Yeah, I assume that we will see rotations again. But it all comes down to like the wards that spot them rotating over. I think both cases, when they ganked mid last game, neither supports smoked them pretty bad as they approach, so they should be able to identify that this time, and if they can, it's going to buy more time for the supports to get levels, and they get the clockwork online a little bit faster, but otherwise have trouble with. So far, Monkey doing pretty good, 9-5 versus the 4-2 of Void Spirit. That is not a great matchup here for Void if he keeps getting slapped like this.
Johnny, it's not really one that gets any better, right? I mean, I guess Gwyn, when he's got a couple of points to Resonant Pulse, it's a little easier to secure some CS with that, but overall he's going to have a lot denied from him by this game in the mid.
GPK is just doing such a good job here, contesting every last hit, basically. Running at his opponent when his opponent wants to go for range creeps, that kind of thing makes it very tough to play. Big double wave here. 2.5 almost for Empire on the top lane. Tide can get in there, triangle smash, but at least Smiling Knight doesn't have to deal with being a melee hero against Anchor. So just gonna sit back, try to get his last hits.
And so far, able to do so here on the Luna. Struggles for Smiling Knight when it comes to the farm. We're going to see Clark trying to do his best to poke at DM, but Tide being Tide, not really caring too much about that at all.
Clock's got to be upset about that though, because before he went for that range creep and he did secure it, he got his mana drained pretty heavily, and now Clockwork 5 with no mana is pretty useless actually. He's got high raw HP, his damage is okay, but his armor's low, so any other engagements he does just aren't going to look good. So now this lane just looks kind of funky, and it actually makes the line support look really effective. The pull connects, but Pipe can contest this, and actually he's just dead, I think.
It is. They catch him with the stun.
Time to
Probably a little bit of him that's like, well, at least I got the mana back. But obviously still, definitely good news for VP and for DM there on the Tide, getting that first blood bonus.
He went to go start the pull. He thought his opponents were going to semi-disconnect, but then Tide just turns and gushes, and easy rundown at that point. If he has cogs, yeah, he can keep himself alive, but no mana for him. So for now, he's a courier. Brings a new Tango set to Luna, and lane resumes.
Okay, well, blocking the spore camp. Be any further chance for Empire to try and recover the lane position up top. Side lanes though, Empire's cores are farming fine. It really is just this mid lane where we are once again starting to see a really big difference. 25 and 8.
Radiant
13 3 as GPK close to doubling that. She managed to get saved.
Not on my watch.
Nicely done. They catch him in battery assault cogs, and Luna's damage output from range is excellent in this circumstance. Maybe can't attack through the cogs necessarily, but despite all this, Tide's still last hitting really well. 28 last hits for him compared to the 23 of Luna. They're gonna go on him actually. It's a big wave here though, so it's a little hard. Okay, this is great. Push the creeps away. Now he's taking full damage.
The stick charges, but you're right, DM's getting very low, and they'll be able to get the kill. Yeah, Eknal finding some, a perfect position there for the cogs.
He really did. And it looked a little iffy. There's so many creeps there, but like you said, the cog push was excellent. And in this whole time, Luna's right-clicking, Clock is right-clicking, and they get that bonus damage. So that's a big kill that I don't think DPC expected to happen here. Going similar build on Tide this game. And some fight bottom.
Nightfall. Try and jump in, but won't be able to lock down onto save. Still has a dive available, and try tanky for him to fully commit on right now.
They're both last hitting well. X is sitting at 27, Ursa's sitting at 31, but the big disparity is still going to come from the mid lane. And in some ways, we haven't seen the supports roam, but I think it just clearly doesn't matter. GPK could get a kill with a support roam, but he's also just beating his opponent by sticking mid here by himself. So I think the one thing that's going to change things is obviously Void Spirit is much better at ganking than Monkey King is. See him in trouble though.
Tushra able to step up, get the call. Burning from Sayer's Spirits, bringing Kingslayer down. He couldn't catch the battle hunger, and he will. He'll fall, but now the response is there from GPK. Gonna head towards Sayer. He'll find it. Maybe do something about Tushra, and Boundless already being used. Level 1 jump. I have the chance to chase down. Anything else here?
And Line picks up the DD at the topper, and he rotated over, so no DD to go on Void Spear, which would have been huge right now. Refills his bottle, can use that to gank with Astral Steps. So really big play by Save there while the Monkey King was gone from the mid lane. So.
Over the mid. Got enough lockdown, they do. They'll be able to find him. She said the DD
and the boots
making the difference.
But then he killed the courier with boots on it too.
This time to our advantage.
So painful.
I mean, that was. They knew that GPK was coming back round. They hit him with the scan, so they knew that he was by that small camp. I guess just wasn't quite prepared for him to come. About 10 seconds after the scan ended, definitely an unfortunate, painful death there from Quinn. And as you say, Save making that move and being around that area, just securing that opportunity.
It's possible they didn't communicate that he had Jingu Mastery, because that was the big difference maker. His fourth hit was the one that killed the Phoenix. So he comes to lane and gets a huge Boundless Strike and a couple big damage hits. If not for all of that extra damage, or maybe even the DD on Lion, he stays alive there, even though he would have taken a lot of damage. So.
He's hunting for more Eknal. Try and run, but Save. Got the extra bit of lockdown. No, actually looking to try and deny himself to some of the neutrals. It's not going to happen. GPK finishing him off very easily here with 3 points in his Boundless Strike.
Radiant's
immediately down bottom. I mean, look how quick GPK is just moving across the map. He's straight down to here. Tushra will get the call off, so we'll buy time for him to step back. We're going to dive back in. Brought Smiling Knight down here.
Radiant's bottom
Smiling Knight does have some clips ready to go. Boundless. Down as the two of them. Smiling Knight still trying to chase in, and Gwimbly's coming in from the side. Looking to get the catch on the Kingslayer, and with the setup into the Lucent Fiend, they'll find one. Now diving in for more. Gwyn turns over towards Nightfall. Nightfall still doesn't have the erase to rely on, but TM, he's in with the Ravage onto both of the claws. Sets up for the kill onto Gwyn. Now Smiling Knight pretty deep, and he has to run, but they're chasing. GPK comes in from the side. He's not even using it. There's not going to be enough damage to bring any of these heroes down with him. As VP respond with the numbers and will manage to come out on top of that trade there, holding on around their tower against a team, you know, Empire. They really tried to make something happen there, bringing the Luna in.
Yeah, I mean, it was good that Void Spirit goes in to get a kill there, but he was a little overextended by the end of the CM finally falling in. All it took was Tide teleporting in with enough mana for that fight to just be completely one-sided.
Dire's top tower is under
And in the meantime, Lion got another stack off on the large camp. He roamed mid, he got some more experience, and he's almost level 6, which is an excellent position to be on line. Get the ulti up faster, and now your ganks just become even stronger. So no death on Nightfall either. Like, the net worth is just looking amazing for VP side. 4K advantage at 9 minutes is ridiculous.
And you like this sort of build-up as well, this game on the mid Monkey King. GPK's, he's just going to try and get this Deso online as soon as he can.
For sure. It's going to make his pressure a little bit easier. Like, most of the time we see something like an Axe to accelerate your farming and stuff like that, but he's playing Space Creator.
Radiant
He's been doing this constantly since he started TPing around the map. He's going for kills. And having minus armor against low armor heroes like Phoenix or Clockwork is actually really effective. Might not be the best against like Luna type heroes, but right now this is a perfect circumstance to have some minus armor.
Start things on to Say does have the dive. Quite tree of GPK. That's what GPK is able to pop off, continue to chase. He's trying to get out of the map with the Sunray. And he's going to get tracked straight back into the map. He can't escape the game.
Tower is under attack.
Another kill is granted to GPK.
Up bottom now, he's going to keep going. He's got ulti.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
He's so quick with these movements. I mean, we can pretty much just keep the camera on GPK as he is finding every single bit of action from top to bottom. No hesitations, no downtime at all for this Monkey King. As 503 now being involved in 8 of the 9 kills. It really is just sort of the GPK show.
I really had doubts that he was going to be able to roam effectively, but he's like doing some classic Thompson material, going mid on Monkey King, doing well in his lane, and then he's just moving around, dumpstering everyone else in the game. Clockwork is still not level 6 yet, the hero that stabilized the lane a little bit, but can't actually gank until he gets that picked up. And the rest of the heroes in the game are just trying to catch up. Luna's doing okay on net worth with the Master Madness picked up and queuing up a Yasha into Axe, but it's going to be a while until she feels really good in the fight here.
Tower is under attack.
Trying to get the potential grouped up to go for a tower. Eknart on the side does find Save. Save trying to get his way out of the cogs, but he's not going to get out of this. Gwyn follows up, gets the kill over towards mid. GPK is already making a jump in on the Indra. Zack tries to they've got the Ravage out on the water 3. The Balance strike down. GPK turns over towards the second, takes out Gwyn. They take down Eknart.
This was over.
As it's just too much of a team to push into. Each time, DM, he's got the Ravage up, and it's always going to be a recipe for disaster trying to fight with this Tide underneath the tower.
It was perfect circumstances for Empire considering, though, right? Like, Clock, the least farmed hero on his team, ends up solo killing the 4th position here with a little help from the Void Spirit. But everything after that just got a little too clumped. The raw HP on the Virtus Pro side is really high. The Hood on Tide at this point, he loves to walk into an Eclipse at this phase of the game. He'd much rather eat that up over his allies. And it was also the fact that Monkey King was able to start things off, getting effectively 4 hits in on Axe. Axe does not have Blink Dagger yet, so Axe isn't able to be as effective a hero as Tide is at this moment in time. Net worth not even counting. So a really hard game for Empire to take the fight, but they do get the tier 1 at least.
They do have a DD on Gwyn, so some good damage to set up onto Nightfall, and no ult for a few seconds. So there isn't any safety for the Series. Nightfall taken out. Quick solid jump there with that smoke up from Gwyn. Catches him off guard. Time down bottom, Smiling Knight, he's alone. GPK is in upon him. Kills like this from GPK. Is that pretty much giving him the deso it has? So you're going to have this 12-minute Desolator done on the Monkey King.
Be a lot of minus. Seriously, no Orb of Corrosion this game for the Monkey, no Orb of Venom. He's just confident in his high movement speed. Phase really pays off in this way, that he's just going to be faster than every other hero on the entire map. So see what he does with the Deso now. -7 armor is like a 30% damage increase or something like that. He's maxed out his Boundless Strike levels really early to just try to maximize how much damage he can do after getting these Jingu Mastery stacks. So who's the next victim? That's what I'm curious about. He's not even farming these stacks. There's like a perfect good 3 stack here that he could just kill instantly, but no. He wants to kill cores.
Oh, he wants blood.
Farming.
He wants blood, and he doesn't want to annoy his Ursa. I'm sure Nightfall's laying claim to those stacks with his Battle Fury. That's also now complete, so his farm's going to continue to go up massively, and at a pace that Empire's going to struggle to deal with bottom lane. They're going to find the setup, and they're going to want to spike Nice. It's an easy kill. The egg will be popped, but fire range of anyone on VP. I don't care about that Supernova at all. Empire's still with 4 heroes around here, but it's still so hard to get anything going against VP, especially when GPK's in the nade.
She was on strength threads. She's at max net worth that she could have, more or less. But against -7 armor from Deso and -4 armor from Gush, she just dies instantly. That was like 1 stun and she's going down. Like, how can she play the front line? Somebody else has to do it, and Axe can't until he gets a Blink Dagger. His net worth is behind where it should be, probably, but we're just really seeing the net worth disparities make it very hard for Empire to fight as long as VP is in position, and they have been.
All these kills and action that GPK has been finding, the level difference also really starting to add up. You know, level 12 in this Monkey King, closest in the game. Level 10, you know, sort of clear 2 levels ahead of anyone on the side of Empire. I'm going for that BKB next, and once GPK has that, Empire are going to struggle massively to take him down. It will be a long time until this Luna has any sort of serious physical punch to cut through a Monkey King, especially when he has the Wukongs out.
And on the bright side, Empire still have their abilities ready, but so do their opponents. Rabbit is still available, and Ty just finished his Blink Dagger. So if they do get a decent catch or group up a little bit too much, you're going to see a Ravage followed by Monkey King. Shot almost catching him there. That would have been really good. Don't know if they would have had enough damage, but
yeah, it would have been pretty deep if it'd gone in and got that lat behind the tower.
Maybe some other follow-up that could have been okay, but scary. Luna's shaving off the Yasha now. He's just going. Actually, I'm sorry. That's not.
Radiant's bottom tower is
so a little
under
bit more movement
attack.
speed, but still low HP.
Win. What's the kill on to stay? Save buying himself some time, and as you say, DM having Ravage up. Empire's got to be careful how they go in on this. Simulate off to the side. Gwyn, he's realized this is not an area for him to continue to poke.
We'll turn this tide to
Dire's
our
top tower
Really
is
do have to
under
respect
attack.
fighting around DM.
He could have Ravaged at any point, Blink and Ravage, but he's just buying time. He knows that if his opponents don't take this tier 1, they can't farm the jungle. And on the opposite side of the map, Ursa is getting literally everything he wants.
Dire's
Full Yasha
structures
finished
are
after Battle
fortified.
Fury's net worth is 3,000 ahead of what Luna has. And one more item, and he's just going to be able to solo kill any hero on the enemy team.
That's not. And he does have hook shot. But he's tanking the tower. TM's just going to come over the counter play, jump him with the Ravage on the 2 of them. Getting him out of the side of the egg, and that will allow the people on the door. And the problem is they actually have damage after this combo to get any of the kills. It doesn't look like it. They try and step forward. Nightfall's picked up a triple. It was a great call. 7k down, and as you can see, they just didn't have anything to actually take anyone down after hitting them with this call into Supernova stun.
Dire's bottom tower.
I think they
is
used
under
all their
attack.
abilities on Empire really well, especially Phoenix diving to that tree line and dropping the egg. He knew the trees would get destroyed and he could catch Monkey, but GPK jumped on the ground in anticipation of this, and that's why he still got a lot of his impact off in that fight. Most importantly, eventually throwing the stun and the Deso on the Luna, who gets bursted down. So they tried, and it was fairly well executed, but the net worth disadvantage is really showing now. The Nurse almost has twice the net worth of the Luna at this moment.
It's getting rough. It's getting rough. This game too, arguably rougher than game 1 was with some of the sort of timings, and you say the numbers that we're seeing on these core matchups. VP, they're ready to keep the pressure on. Smokes up. Roshan is there. Of course, very easy for them to take with this Ursa lineup. They want to do so, and of course having the Deso and GPK. But, they've got a lot of options here, VP. Of throws, they convert kills. Pretty much do what they want right now. The strength that they have, Bloom trying to start something here in the mid lane, over to the side. Stave, he found the setup, found the opening. On the Tushiro, trying to get the call off, it's not going to happen. The hook shot comes in from Eknar, in onto Stave. Stave might go down here, so who's finding the Lion? The 2 heroes out, Eknar as well to fall. As it's just another trade. VP continue to come out on top and save. He doesn't want to waste any time out of the game. He's just going to buy back so he can continue to play.
Double damage.
I guess so. They're just happy tipping him. He doesn't care. He's already got Blink Dagger. Like, actually,
he doesn't need anything else.
Won't mean much to him.
Yeah.
Not much at this point. He's so set. He just needs to be there to initiate. He's the clearest guy that can initiate, and any hero can guarantee that Monkey can kill him afterwards. And that's actually an insane threat. Monkey has no mobility built into his toolkit. Lion just has to be there to disable the play sort of close to Monkey, and Monkey effectively is his tear plus 6 seconds of disable. So, very good to have save on the map still.
Half a rest. Done.
Dire's top tower
BKB
is under
looking.
attack.
Hammer well onto his. Empire knowing that their only real way back into this is to find some sort of big catch, big kickoff. Keep trying to hit VP with the smoke, see if they can
Dire's
catch
top
them
tower is under
unprepared. But
attack.
it doesn't look to happen as VP is very
Dire's
solidly the full
structures
5
are
man,
fortified.
taking this tier 2 tower top. They'll start to sweep up their Empire.
Radiant's
If they can
middle
find any
tower
sort of jump
is
onto
under
backliners,
attack.
but it's going to be very
Dire's
hard.
top tower is under attack.
Be a lot of heroes right now. Axe calls to be the big thing with Blink here. He's got to grab like 2 heroes at least with good egg position. Disrupting the backline.
Running in, stay it. Has to dive away. We've got command down. There's the Ravage. Onto the 3 of them. Sets up for Eknar to be completely ignored as TPK jumps over towards the Luna. Future does find the call. They're popping clipped, but they just kill the Luna very damn quickly. As it's a team wipe. VP cleaning up every single member of Empire. As it's only the CN Kingslayer going down for VP.
This was over.
Nightfall played that fight perfectly. He ran up to the high ground knowing he's got Aegis, he's got Enrage. There's almost nothing that he could run in that he's scared about. Even if he gets like called into Eclipse and dies, he's got Aegis, right? So what he does is he runs in the back line and he just follows the Phoenix. He just ran after him, forced dive up, and then continued running at him. He knows that he doesn't need to participate in the fight because they're so far ahead, so he just kept zoning him, ends up killing Phoenix over by the Roche pit. No egg pop, and it just made sure that the Monkey King is completely on pressure. There's like no big team fight swing that was going to protect the Luna.
Nice. Got about half the goal for the Axe, but until he has that, he's still going to have to sort of stand in the midst of these fights to get it off the clip. He dies so quickly. Mid lane Gwyn managed to jump out. I mean, Smiling Knight, Gwyn, they're running at them. A lot of VP around. Really keep their distance and careful how they try and make the jump on them. Stay it. He's been committed on. He'll buy back straight away. Good shot attempted from Eknar. Petusha getting the call off on He's still got the BKB. They turn over, take the stiff over out. Immediately, Petusha will fall. The die back from Stay. Smiling Knight cannot escape this. As we may just see the G's be dropped pretty soon. And there they are. GG's are there. Empire will tap out of this one. 32-9, 20k lead here in this game. So they'll take the series 2-0, and they